Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Battle-Hardened Formidable Foes and basically how we can beat the Dragon Ball Super Edition Part 1. Now this one features bosses all the way up to merged Zamasu or whichever way you want to say it. But there are distinctly 3 bosses. The first 2 have 2 phases, the last one has 3. For the team we'll be using an uncontrollable power team led by the incredibly impressive Int LR Broly's. We'll also be using the Tech Broly, the Int Buhan, the Int Janemba, physical Janemba, and basically just having a pretty cool time. All in all, it's actually a really fun team, and I think the synergy with which the team works with is very impressive. Now, Formidable Battle-Hardened Foes has some interesting differences between it and traditional content. The bosses aren't always immune to everything. Sometimes they're weak to attack lowering or defense lowering or sealing or stunning. A lot of the times the phases are quite quick. So we're talking bosses with like a couple 100 million health, 100 million, 120 million, etc. All in all, realistically, it's a very different, almost more ESBR centric kind of content than it is a red zone, blue zone kind of content, which personally for me is fine. Obviously, that's the big appeal. I think for me, I found that these extreme teams, at least like Uncontrollable Power and that, where they don't have nearly maybe as much consistent damage as, say, for example, the really top teams in the game, or the top 2 teams in the game. But what I do think is that the team does a really good job in these kind of shorter environments. So I really like bringing these extreme teams where the bosses start out very strong as well. We're talking 1 million normals, 1.2 million normals, 2.8 million supers, 3.4 million supers, but where the team thrives because it's not necessarily building into a long-term, long-term kind of functionality. So I think for me, that's really where, all things considered, it's looking pretty good. For me, on the base level, what I like the most is, I like Uncontrollable Power because of the fact that it has a lot of burst damage and is, really quite strong. For this event, you would have seen us take out Hit already. Hit was very weak to stunning in his first phase. In the second phase, he can stun you. He also performs a critical hit. So there we would use a damage reduction item to help our units with pretty good damage reduction, but to give them that extra layer of toughness to kind of take out hits. Luckily, like I said, the health thresholds aren't huge, so you're able to take them out quite quickly. You then move on to Goku Black, who hits for 800k and then 1 million on normals. But Goku Black has a lot of attack multipliers. So Goku Black in his first phase gets 20% attack with each attack received and 20% defense with each attack received. So if you're hitting him with multiple attacks that just don't do damage or do a lot of damage, he's going to be able to give you a lot of problems. So it's quite a big deal for him, like it's quite a big issue. And obviously you're going to need to try and hit him hard and hit him fast without having him build up. The same can be said with Super Saiyan Rose. He gets 20% attack with each attack received, but he also gets damage reduction rate up with each attack received. So again, hitting him hard, hitting him fast, number one imperative here. So you don't want units that take too long to get out the gate. You want units that can hit hard quite quickly. That's why I brought units like Buhan, who I think is incredibly good. Because of that reason. Tech Broly also similarly can hit quite quickly, quite hard out the gate. You don't want to be spending 2 or 3 turns building up your units, trying to handle everything. I think it's just not a good idea. You're going to build up the enemy too much, make your life too hard. Then we take on Zamasu. It starts out with Zamasu into Fusion Zamasu, and then obviously the fused, merged, corrupted Zamasu, which apparently doesn't count. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, basically, yeah, Zamasu, he gives all enemies attacking defense down 20%. 2.8 mil supers, nothing too crazy. Generally, if you've been quite conservative with items, you should be fine. For this last phase of Formidable Battles, like, you shouldn't really have any huge issues with this last phase. Like, not necessarily saying that it's super easy, but if you've managed to store an extra item here or there, you should have enough items to make your life quite simple and quite easy. The second phase against Infusion's Masu, he hits for about 3.6 million on the super, has a 1.2 million normal. His attack goes up with each turn passed, and his damage reduction rate goes up with each attack received. Again, we're really trying to maximize doing damage as quickly as possible, because of the fact that he can really kind of build quite quickly, and you don't want to leave him out there too long. You don't want to get his damage reduction up, leave him out there for a couple turns, and then run into a lot of problems. Luckily, the first phase can be stunned, and the second phase can have attack lowering applied and sealing. So there is some utility that you can bring to kind of make your life a lot easier. And then finally we take on the Fusion Zamasu, who hits for 1.3 million and a 3.6 million super. He also has an alternative option for a 3.9 million super, which can occur in the same turn. So both super attacks can potentially occur in the same turn. It's very rare though. How it works with him, he gets attack for 25% up with each attack received. So if you hit him 5 times, he's going to be hitting for like 7 mil on a super. He also gets damage reduction rate reduction basically with each turn passed, which you also don't really want to deal with. Will help you out a little bit. So it's like the inverse of the previous stage. The big thing here is he just doesn't have a lot of health. So because you've had the first 2 phases, I would say, where you're able to build up your units, then you should be able to do quite a substantial amount of damage to him. He's also quite weak to attack and defense lowering. So for me, that is obviously a tool to utilize. You'll notice I use items like Chi-Chi, mouse items, etc., because these are actually quite effective in like just this type of content in general. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know how you're finding these. I think I only have one more, unless they've added more. But yeah, pretty cool and pretty straightforward. So that'll be it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.